Hello everyone, it's Simmuz here. Welcome to a brand new video in the Sims 4. Today we are doing a challenge build. So if you don't have the new stuff pack, you might not know this, but there is the new stuff pack called Tiny Living, and with Tiny Living there is a challenge inside the game, quote unquote challenge. I'm gonna use quotes here because it's not really a challenge, but it's kind of a challenge. So that you can create houses with specific characteristics that are called small houses, tiny houses, or micro houses. So you can have obviously one of these houses, and in accordance to how many tiles you use in a house, your house would have different perks. So in this case, we are building a tiny house. A tiny house is 64 tiles in a lot, and for this challenge, I decided to copy. Shh, don't say copy. One video from one of creators that I love a lot, which I'm watching a lot of her videos lately. She is Lilsimsie. If you don't know her, she is a very famous creator here on the platform, and she makes some amazing builds that I really love. And she did this challenge when Tiny Living came out, where she created a tiny home like this one that I'm making that was for only 8 Sims to live in. So I decided to try my hand at this challenge and make the same thing. So I decided to try my hand. This is a tiny home for 8 Sims. Everybody can sleep in it, they can eat, they can go to the toilet. There is only one bathroom, which is kind of a downside, I guess, but they can do everything in this house, and you can download it right now. It's on the gallery. You can search Silly Simmuz like here on YouTube for your ID, origin IDs, but without spaces, or you can use hashtag Silly Simmuz as well, and this should come up. It's called, I think, 8 Sim Tiny Build or something like that. Nothing crazy, nothing very interesting, but I decided to try my hand at it, and I did this house, and I really love it. I think it looks super cool. The only downside that I can, understand, it's about from the fact that we have only one bathroom for 8 Sims, which is not great, and also basically everyone shares one bedroom. Technically 2 bedrooms, but they're like connected, so it's like one big bedroom. Apart from these 2 downsides, the other thing is that I understand not everybody has every pack, and I did use that many different packs other than Tiny Living and Base Game. I did use Mosquito stuff pack for the windows. I used Realm of Magic for other windows. I think I used many packs. That's the downside of it. So I might try this challenge again without other packs other than Tiny Living and Base Game, if you guys like it. Maybe not a 8 sim, maybe a little bit less, maybe like a 4 sim, or whatever you guys want to see. I would love to do something different, but similar to this one. Also, yeah, I forgot to say, this house is completely inside a budget, so it is a starter home. Your Sims, your 8 family Sims would get 32,000 simoleons as a start. So when you start a new game, the game sets like an amount of money in regards to how many Sims you have in your household. So a household of 8 Sims would get 32,000 simoleons, unless you use the story mode. In that case, you might get a little bit less or a little bit more. It really depends on your answers. And if you don't use story mode and you just like create the family and put it in game, you will get 32,000 simoleons, and this house costs a little bit less, so you can actually buy it as a starter home. And that was also part of a challenge. Obviously it is a tiny build, it is a starter home, and it is for 8 Sims, and I think it looks super cool. Obviously right now you see me trying to squeeze all the stuff in. I do change these beds around with the ones from Base Game, so that they are not these one from University. The reason is this one from University take a little bit more space than the beds from Base Game. The beds from Base Game, which are like the cheapest beds in game for like normal Sims, I think they are the cheapest ones from Base Game. Those work very well even when pushed into the wall, and that is great stuff. Right now you might see that the house is not 64 tiles, it's 74, but I do change that around. Obviously, I was just trying to place everything in just to get a feel of the house, and then in the end, obviously, I change it up, and you know, I was like, oh yeah, I really need more space. And at first, I was also like kind of into the idea of doing not a super small house, like a tiny build, but do a small build which is under 100 tiles. But in the end, I was like, no, that's not that much of a challenge, and Lilsimsie did hers in under 64, so I want to do it under 64 as well. And that's exactly what I did. So this is getting changed around a little bit. A lot of walls are getting taken out as well, because there's I really wanted another bedroom, but yeah, it wouldn't work out. So yeah, you can see now it's starting to take shape in what it's actually in the end, and I really love it. Obviously, if you want to download it, again, it's on the gallery, you can download it, and I highly suggest you do, because it's a great build. It works. I play tested everything in it, so it totally works. Everything works, you can use it, and your Sims can live here, and 8 Sims can live here. Obviously, I decided in my mind there would be like a double bed for parents, and then 8 children / other adults that live in the house, and 1 toddler. So there is a toddler bed, there is also the potty for the toddler, and there's also is a tub for the toddler, so that you can wash the toddler, you can poop him. You don't poop a toddler, you help a toddler poop, but you get what I'm saying, right? But yeah, that's exactly what we get. And you can see right now I'm switching to these beds. You can see I'm sinking them in the wall, and that really helps with the space, but also they totally work. So that's literally like the biggest thing for me. Like the beds sink in the wall, they still work perfectly fine. I was trying to do that also with, you can see I'm gonna change this around a little bit more, and I wanted a door to keep the 2 bedrooms upstairs instead of 1 big bedroom. It's technically 1 big bedroom, but there are like kind of 2 bedrooms now, because there is like the curtain thing, so you would draw that and close it up, and you would have 2 bedrooms. So it's technically a 2-bedroom house, but I think I posted it with the 1-bedroom thing in, because of the fact that technically it is 1 bedroom. So I was like super fair in my opinion, and honest. And yeah, it was very hard because I was on a budget, since I wanted to keep it under 32,000 simoleons. And the fact that I did it, I'm so proud of myself. I obviously used some objects from debug as well. If you don't know, you can use debug objects, which are objects that don't have a price, because of the fact that they are like hidden objects in the catalog that are technically from the game, but are not in the catalog because you cannot technically buy them. And those are usually like objects that you see around the world but are not in the catalog, like plants, pot plants. There are some fences, walls, but there is so many different things obviously in debug. There's also all the stuff the Sims use in game that you don't technically buy, like the food trays where they prepare the food, or knives or bottles or stuff like that that they like materialize out of thin air in game. Those are all in debugs, so I used debug objects, especially on the outside of the house. The inside is totally, I think, normal objects, while the outside, I think mostly it is debug objects, except maybe a couple of plants, but I'm not even sure. I think most of my plants are debug, and the reason is they are free, because the game doesn't recognize them as really plants, but they do look good. They look like normal plants that you have in game, you just don't pay them, and that's a great thing for me. Obviously, yeah, except for debug, that is a little bit of a cheat, I guess. But I allowed myself to do that. I also, those plants that I put on the wall, those are so expensive, but I decided to keep them. And yeah, it was a mistake, because I could have added some carpets in the bedrooms, which would have made them look a little bit better maybe, but I'm still good with this. Also, putting a lot of shelves in. The idea is, since it is a tiny home, it makes sense to use a lot of shelves and shelving units around the house, because of the fact that you don't have much space for stuff other than shelves, because the walls are still there. Like, walls, you cannot get rid of walls, so walls are gonna be there. Also, there is a mirror here, so technically this is a dining table with the dining room, but you know, a mirror in there, because we don't have another mirror in the house, I don't think. There's definitely none in the bathroom, because you can see the bathroom is here. This is a very smallish bathroom, but it looks cute. So I decided to put a mirror in, because you can still use mirrors, obviously, and that was the only spot that I had available, and I think it still looks good, so I'm not upset about that. Obviously, guys, let me know what you think about this house, because I really, really love it. Obviously, in my personal opinion, this looks amazing and I really love it. You guys might think differently, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this house, because I want to really, really know what you think of this attempt at tiny building. And just so you guys know, I'm building so many tiny houses in my spare time that I'm not showing to you guys, because it's like mostly experimenting with stuff so that I can see how many things I can fit in. So I really want to do another challenge like this one with a budget, but also I want to maybe try and use less packs, as I was saying, and do maybe I don't know, a tiny house, or I really want to do a micro home for the channel. So that might be coming up soon. Just so you guys are ready, I might be coming up with a micro home, but I want to do something cool, because everybody's making micro homes. They look super amazing. Like, people are making crazy stuff, and I'm super jealous, and I want to make it too. And that's exactly it. So here we're struggling with money. I had to delete some stuff to get in the bin outside, but we have everything. We have 38 simoleons left. Obviously, you can use them whatever you want. I also put in a car, not this one. I do change it up with another car. But you can see me right now. I'm putting in so many plants. They're all free, because they are debug objects, and you cannot clone debug objects, but you can delete them. So if you don't like these plants, or maybe when your sim family gets more money, you can obviously delete them and put in other plants that you like. I also use this fence that looks super, super cute. It's super farm-like, but I guess it really went well with the vibe of the house, since it is like a very, I don't know, I'm gonna say suburban house, but I don't want to steal Lilsimsie title of suburban sim build creator. So it is like kind of suburban, and it is blue, so I guess I stole her title. I'm great. I also I did a challenge, guys. This is great. You can download it. It is a tiny home. It is for 8 sims. It totally is workable. It's play tested. Everything works, and it is under 32,000 simoleons. So guys, I'm super proud of this build. Honestly, it was a challenge. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about it, what you want to see next. I really want to do a micro home, maybe not for 8 sims, but maybe 4 sims. I could try that. A micro home for 8 sims would be crazy. I don't even think 8 beds could fit in, but maybe 4. We'll see. And maybe pack limited as well. Here are the screenshots, guys. So thank you so much for watching. These are all the screenshots of the outside of the house. I really, really love it. I love these flamingos. I don't know why, they speak to me. And this is the inside. I really love it as well. There's so many spaces and nooks for people to use that in real life would make a lot of sense, since you don't really have much space. You would use a lot of shelves and stuff like that. So I really, really like how it turned out. Obviously, guys, let me know in the comments what you all think about this house. And if you want to download it, I'm gonna say it again. It's on the gallery under SillySims, or hashtag SillySims as well. You can use both, and you should find it pretty well. The bedrooms upstairs are so-so. I know they're not great, but I think they still look decent, and I'm still pleased. So yeah, let me know obviously what you think about this house. Again, super proud of it, but I really want to know your opinion. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Put on notifications so that you know when the next video is coming out. Thank you so much for watching, and a bye-bye.